I'm Starry, and welcome to my day one of Artfight. So, real quick, I'm gonna yap about what I did to prep for Artfight before we go into the plan of attack. So, feel free to skip around if you just kind of want to have someone help you work through your plan of attack for targeting your hit list and getting those done, because this is my first year, so I need to make a plan. Maybe you need to make a plan. Is it your first year? Maybe. But we're gonna figure this out together. It's day one. Let's go. I have been vaguely aware of Artfight since sometime last year, and this year I happened to be scrolling on Tumblr when I saw people discussing it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a thing I could do." Because, to be honest, 99% of my art has just been for one specific fandom. The other 0.75% is other fan art. And then that itty bitty 0.25% is original art, like art that I create. I think I just want to break. I want to mix it up, draw some different characters, maybe something unusual, maybe not something so realistic. Let's look up what Artfight is, and I'm going to make an account. So I went on the Artfight website and I made this account, and as you can tell, I joined on June 19th, 2026. So that gave me, 11 days to prep, and surely that's enough time, right? That's 11 days. That's a lot of time to prep for Artfight. Or so I thought. I started watching Artfight prep videos, and I learned a lot. And if you don't know what Artfight is and you need someone to explain it, this isn't really the video for that, but I will give you a brief overview. It's basically a art gifting games. You pick a team, or you get one randomly assigned to you. You get points for your team by attacking the people on the other team by giving them art of their OCs, their original characters. And people can attack you to get points for their team. Whoever gets the most points at the end of the game wins. It's pretty straightforward. The whole point isn't really to win, it's to give gifts and build community, so that's really fun and cool. So that's what Artfight is. To prep for Artfight, you need to create a couple of things. One of the things is you need to make a profile page, a character profile with your refs and description for each of them and permissions for those. This isn't mandatory, but people make little team cards like this so that people know what team you're on and to advertise yourself to get attacked. There's also attack overlays that you use to put on the thumbnails of your attacks. So, I mean, this is also very optional. Another optional thing you can do is make a hit list, so that way you have a list of people that you're going to attack. The main things you need, though, is your profile, which you could honestly leave blank if you wanted to, and you need to have an OC. I mean, I guess technically you don't need to have an OC, because you can just join Artfight just to attack people, and then they can't attack you back, so because you don't have a character to draw or whatever. So but I really wanted to have the opportunity for people to attack me, because I thought that would be fun. But my main goal was kind of the attacks. Surely 11 days is enough time to get it all done. Well, the problem is I didn't have anything drawn for my OC. I've never actually drawn anything for any of my OCs, because I'm not the type of person to make fandom OCs. So even though I'm in a fandom, I don't really have a full fleshed out OCs necessarily. I have a couple. They're not characters that I really developed a whole lot. They're just fill-ins for the story, or for a comic, just silly NPCs, you know? That doesn't mean I don't make my own original content. I have a bunch of original stories and I make characters, but I've never actually thought to visualize the character. It's just vagueness and whatever, because I'm the type of writer that's very relationship and dialogue heavy, so I don't really describe the environment or what they look like. I don't care. I just want to talk about their feelings. I didn't have a single picture of any of my OCs except for Holly, and At the time, I didn't even have names for them. The way I write, I personally just, I don't give them names. I just put like a letter. So I'll put like Z or X because it's easy to find and I don't use those that often. So if I need to replace it, I could just replace it. Or I will just use literally symbols. So like underscore, brackets, and ampersand. I will just use that instead of an actual name because I can't be bothered with the name. Like, I was like, I'll figure out the name later when it's important. And so these characters did not have names. And so I was basically starting from like scratch. The only thing I had in my head was like the general background story. So that I didn't really need to craft that. Let me tell you, 11 days was really kind of pushing it. The first thing I decided I needed to do, which was the most important thing, was obviously start my refs. Here's Holly. So she's the only one that I had like a vague design for, and I kind of just refined it. And I realized as I was doing this, I really don't like making refs. I probably could have gotten my refs done in like maybe 2 or 3 days, if I just locked it. Honestly, in one day, if I just locked in, but I could not lock in. I refused to lock in on these refs because I just don't like doing them. I was too busy doing all these other doodles for everyone else. Specifically on the 28th, I had almost finished Ravi's character profile. I decided to make a team card to finally like advertise it on Tumblr and the target hunting channel on Discord and wherever. I don't have much other social media that I use actively. And then on the 29th, I finally finished all my character refs. And then I updated everyone's profile and all the little character permissions. I also had finished my profile. And so this was like the profile I created, and I was just like, okay, this is good. Like my little profile looks good. It's got all the information and has my team card, and I was satisfied with that. On the 30th, I decided to work on my attack overlays, just so I have something for my thumbnail, so I could just slap that on. The night of the 30th, actually, technically, the morning of July 1st, today, I decided to update my I had a good idea and I was like, I'm gonna update my artist profile again. I decided, I was like, okay, like I gotta do like a playbill. That would be so cute. There's no way they're gonna have like a theater based theme again. So it's like I won't be able to do this again. So I was like, okay, let's just do it. But yeah, so I wasted a bunch of time spent a bunch of time prettying this up. So that's fun. Here's the plan. So you got your hit list / bookmarks. You're going to look at the number that you have for this. You're going to create a time estimation to see how long it's going to take you to do each piece. And then you're going to figure out your total amount of hours, and you're going to divide that by the amount of hours you can spend drawing per day. To give yourself a realistic expectation of what you can do. Base this amount per day based on past experience. How long in the past have you been able to draw in one sitting? And was that a bad time or a good time? Or was it a good time but a bad time for you as a person, but a good time as an artist? You gotta figure it out, because you don't want burnout. Burnout, bad. We don't want to burn out. So you gotta set expectations to be realistic. We need realistic expectations here, okay? This is what we're trying to achieve. So what do we do when we account for revenges? What I'm gonna do, which you could do, is you're gonna look at the month of July, and then you're gonna split it in half, and you're gonna do attacks for the first half and then revenges for the second half. So theoretically, the number that you got last time, the number of hours that you need to complete your hit list / bookmarks, I don't know whatever you want to call it, should fit in within this time frame. So if you're looking at it and it's set and you're like calculating it and you need like 1,000 hours, that's not gonna happen. You gotta be real. Remember, we're trying to be realistic with our expectations for Artfight. I'm saying this mainly for me because this is my first year and I have a tendency to kind of go crazy when I start drawing. What if you get way too many revenges, you know? The beauty of Artfight is that it's a yearly event. So we're just, if you have too many revenges, you push that off until next year, into next year's hit list. That's how you're gonna do it. And if you don't think that's still feasible, you reset expectations. You go back to making realistic expectations. And this, I am literally just talking to myself. I'm not even talking to you. This is just for me. But also, it could be advice for you as another fellow art fighter. Um, we're gonna go back to this, and if I get 100 attacks, I gotta keep expectations realistic. So it's either I need to not do them, so just do less, or I got to bring down the quality of my attacks. And that's something that I have to parse with. And I kind of don't want to have to lower my quality, so which means I might have to just end up doing less of these, but we'll see. I don't know how Artfight's gonna go. I still have a few hours before it starts. So, yeah. My goal is to get a minimum of 6 attacks out. But as you could see, I have 12 listed and I did make 12 thumbnails, so I guess my minimum is 12 now. I wanted to use this event to like try more experimental like styles and like different compositions, kind of really push myself. And we need to figure out how are we going to get all of these done. I followed the advice of many fellow like veteran art fighters and all of the YouTube videos I watch, and I decided to do a little bit of prepping ahead of time. I have 12 characters I would like to hit. Some of them have more than one character in it, but I'm just going to say 12. I have 12 pieces I need to hit and 12 creators I want to attack. And so I need to figure out how long do I need to make each of these pieces and kind of gauge from there about how long each of these pieces could potentially take, and then kind of figure out how I'm going to make time for that accordingly. I mean, I could just draw for 12 hours a day, but that is not sustainable. And also, I have other things and other projects I need to be working on, and I can't just get sucked into just doing Artfight. If you can, good for you, but make sure you drink water, you eat food, and maybe go on a walk. It's actually hot. Like the world is burning right now. Don't go on a walk. Just do some stretches. Like spend time with your loved ones. And if you live alone, take a break still. Like we don't want to burn ourselves out here. That's the goal. No burnout. So as I'm looking at these pieces, I'm going to kind of decide mentally how long each of these are going to take me. Based off my past experience, I recently just did a fandom event. It has daily prompts for about 8 days. I kind of have a good idea about how long it takes me to draw things. If you're a beginner artist and you don't have any clue how long it takes you to draw anything, this might not work for you. Just try to give a vague estimate of how long you spend on drawing and how long it gets to the level that it gets. Some things to keep in mind is just like also the level of polish and finish you want. So for a lot of these pieces, as I'm looking at them, I think most of them are going to be pretty, my ideas for them, they're probably going to be pretty well rendered out and like shaded and stuff. This one might be more stylized. This one's going to be more stylized. This one actually might take a little longer because it's going to be so stylized, but we'll see. I'm not sure yet. This one's an animation, so that one, but it's going to be simple. I need to flesh out this one. These ones are going to end up being more, so these ones simple character, but it's going to be like rendered and shaded, so it's going to take a certain amount of time. These ones are going to take probably pretty long. These two are going to take, this one's probably going to take the longest just because it's got more of an environment in the background. This one's also going to take quite a while just because I have a lot of vision for it, but I feel like I'm just going to go crazy on the details on this one specifically just because it's celestial and water themed. I'm going to go crazy with it. So if I'm going to organize it from like how long they're going to take to how short they are, this one has a lot of characters and stuff. I feel like this one might take longer. This one's more stylized, so maybe not as long, but it does have like 2 characters and like interesting like composition, so it might take me a little while. I'll put it here, maybe. This one, I don't know. And then I feel like this one's gonna take the longest because even though it's only like what 10 frames of animation, it probably won't take me that long. Maybe this one, I don't know. Like I feel like these might take a while. Looking at this, and I'm gonna look at my own art. So I'm going to reveal my fan art to you guys. Just a little content warning. There might be some blood on some of these, but it's blue blood, so it's not real blood. So something like this, which is a little bit more stylized. This one took me probably about 6 to 7 hours, and then this might be good for figuring out the animation. I drew a 3-page comic, and it probably took me 16 hours, I think, because I woke up at like 9 a.m. and then I spent until 1 a.m. the next day. How many hours is that? Yeah, it took me 16 hours to do that. I mean, I took a couple breaks, so I probably had like an hour or two of a break, so maybe like 14 hours, but obviously drawing for 16 hours straight is not sustainable. But will give me kind of a vague idea about how long the animation might take, because I'm doing 10 frames. It actually might take me less time than 16 hours because I will be doing the same background for most of it and only the characters changing, and it's going to be pretty simple. So I think I could get this done in 12 hours. Okay, so I think these ones, okay, this one definitely could probably just take me 3 or 4 hours. This one probably will take me 3 to 4 hours, depending on how crazy I go with like all the stars and stuff. These ones, probably 5 to 6. These ones might end up being on the 10 side. Maybe like 7 to 8. And then this one, I don't know. I'm going to say 7 for this one, actually. I'm going to put this in here. I feel like I'm just going to go crazy with this one with all the details. So I'm going to give this one 12 and this one 12. So let's do the math. That's 12, 24. I said what, 7 for these? I'll just say 7. So 31, 38, 45, 52. And then I said 6 for these. So 58, 64, 70, 76. If my math is wrong, don't call me out. These are estimates. And then I'll just give another 6 for these two. So 76, 82. So we'll just give myself 90 hours of work here. Well, theoretically, if I was treating this like a full-time job, I could get it done in like 2 weeks in a day. And I'm going to be drawing every day, so like 2 weeks. Which sounds like a manageable amount. I think my goal will probably be to try to do 6-hour, maybe draw. Basically, I don't want to be spending all day drawing. I need to take care of myself. I think the goal is maybe try to get one piece done every day, except for the ones that are gonna take like 2 days. And I like max out at like 6 hours, I think. So theoretically, I will get this all done in 12 days-ish, maybe like 14, 15. So I think that's okay. Like if I focus on the first 2 weeks on my hit list, I just really hope I don't get too many revenges, because I do kind of want 100% revenge people. But I also am like, ooh, what if, I mean, maybe I won't get anybody attacking me outside of the people I attack. I think, yeah, it's possible that no one attacks me, actually. And I'll have all this time and I worried for nothing. But it's also possible that I get attacked and then I have a bunch of revenges I need to do. So I kind of don't know if my revenges are going to be at the same quality that I kind of want these pieces to be at. And I think that's something that you kind of have to decide when you're planning things, is like, how much effort are you going to put on your revenges versus like the bookmarks? You look at your hit list and bookmarks and look at that number. And you're going to estimate how much time you think based off past experience. How long does it usually take you to do drawing? How much time is going to be to get to that level of quality? And you're going to take the time you need for each of these pieces so you can get total amount of hours. And then based off your past experience about how much drawings you can do, also consider you have other things you can do. You might have friends. You might have family. You might have a pet. You might have online friends. You have things to do. So this and this might conflict. Also, you got to take care of yourself. Like, consider your health and your wrist health and your back health and your shoulder health and your neck health. These are all things that hurt me now because I am an adult. Consider the amount per day you can do. If it's not the same as someone else, that's fine. I'm probably going to spend maybe 6 hours. I was going to say 6 to 8. I keep escalating the number. I'm going to write it clearer for everyone who can't read my atrocious handwriting. Remember, we're looking for realistic expectations. Okay? We're going to set realistic expectations for Artfight. We're not gonna go crazy. And if you can't 100% revenge, even though I'm gonna try really hard to 100% revenge, that's okay. We're gonna be a-okay. I have 3 hours and 39 minutes and 25 seconds until Artfight starts. So I'm going to maybe take a little bit of a wrist rest. I shouldn't keep drawing because I'm planning to kind of today's going to be an exception for my 6 hour rule, perhaps. I'm just gonna kind of vibe it out today to see how much I can get done on the animation and then reset my expectations. That's what you gotta do. You can set your expectations and then you can reset them once you have been better informed, because you're gonna look back and you're gonna see, are the expectations I gave myself and the standard that I'm holding myself to still realistic after it's been like 4 or 5 days of Artfight? Or am I gonna burn out? If you need to take a break, take a break. We're here for it. I don't know how many people are gonna watch this. If there's like 3 people watching this right now and you 3 people want to attack me, feel free, and then I will revenge you. But if there are more than 10 people, I cannot guarantee anything. Because my goal is 100% revenges, so maybe, only attack me if my characters really speak to you. I know a lot of these videos, people kind of talk about their OCs. I didn't talk about my OCs at all. I'm too busy yapping about logistics. So I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video about my OCs if people care enough. I still feel kind of cringe and embarrassed about talking about my OCs. I'm still trying to get over that because for a while, like, I never really talked to other people about my original work, like my stories and stuff. It's only recently I started talking about it. And doing Artfight, I feel a little bit more comfortable talking about it, but I still feel kind of like, oh man, am I being too much? Am I doing too extra? But it's fine. Is it cringe to be passionate? I don't think you should be embarrassed to either be cringe or to be passionate. So I think once I have all the attacks on my hit list done, I will might make another video kind of summarizing that. I just need to confirm with like the creators of the characters if it's okay if I post about their character on my social media, because even if I don't end up making a video out of it, I do plan on posting it on my Tumblr. I'm probably either gonna edit this video for the next 3 hours and then make sure I create a schedule that's sustainable and realistic and keep my expectations realistic so we don't burn out. Remember, keywords, realistic, and no burnout. Good luck, everyone, with all your endeavors, whether that's drawing or something else, and good luck with your fighting. Go attack someone. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Bye. Realistic expectations.